We'll start with Tom Dowd, BrooklynNets.com.
James, pretty active summer for the front office. When you look at some of the changes that were made, are there areas where you feel like this team has gotten better?
Well, first, it's nice to see you guys in person. Yeah, I think our entire roster improved in the sense of we have more experience. We have, a few more guys that's been in big games and long playoff runs. And then honestly, we have a full year together, to where we didn't have training camp last year. I was kind of thrown in the fire in the middle of the season, and we were just trying to figure it out and do our best. Now we got a full training camp and a full year to get better. I think that's like the most fun, exciting part about it.
Greg Logan, Newsday.
Hi, James. Two things. First of all, can you kind of go over the status of your hamstring now and where you're at? And second of all, Steve Nash, the other day, he mentioned how critical he thought your leadership was to the team. And what do you think that does for you to have that time together with the guys to kind of establish that in the locker room?
I'm 100%. I'm back, which I feel great about that. And as far as my leadership, I just feel like, obviously we have a vet group who doesn't need to be coached or whatnot. I think my job is to make sure that throughout the course of the year, we're all on the same page. And obviously there's going to be some ups and some downs and tough times or whatever the case. But as long as we all have the same goal and that same sacrifice, and it starts from, tomorrow in training camp and kind of instill that into the guys' minds to where we're doing this together and to the end. And obviously, it's going to be fun. And we got a great group of guys that work their ass off and, excuse my language, but and just, are very, very unselfish.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, James, good to see you. Sean said that, he's been in talks with you and Kyrie for contract extensions after locking up Kevin. Kevin just said he's been here a little bit, but also tried to back off. Are you optimistic about, reaching an agreement on that stuff before the season starts, or it might take a more time?
Honestly, I'm taking my time. Like, I'm focused on, trying to bring a championship to the city. But as far as, extension, I'm just being patient with it. And I went through a lot last year, and I want to make sure I'm in the right mindset and knowing long term that ultimately I want to be in Brooklyn, for the rest of my career. So it's no rush, and we're gonna have fun with it.
Bruce Beck, NBC New York.
James, with expectations high, is your goal solely to win a championship? And would anything short of that be a disappointment to you?
I think the entire organization feels that way. More than capable, and we just got to take the right steps. We're not gonna focus on the end goal now. I think we're gonna take baby steps and kind of get our minds, our body right, and make sure we're on the same page, and just take it a day at a time. Figure some things out on both ends of the ball, and enjoy the experience. I think that's another thing that I'm trying to get the guys to do is just have fun, man. I'm sure these guys have been on a few teams where it wasn't fun. It was just draining coming into work. I want this experience to be just like one of the best experiences where guys come in and we just having fun. We work hard and we smile, we laugh, and we get our job done. And once we get that kind of mindset, everything else should be easier.
Brian Windhorst, ESPN.
James, you have a very interesting situation with your contract because you can extend now or you can wait a year and extend for a lot more, which is a good position to be in, I guess. How much are you weighing those two choices? Is that a big factor for you as you think about that?
No, it's not about the money for me. It's not about, I've been on enough teams where we fell short. So I think, my mindset and my goal is to make sure that we're able to build and continue to build this team to be able to compete and contend for multiple years at the highest level. So it's not about the money. You win a championship in New York, the money will come.
Rachel Bachman, Wall Street Journal.
Hi, James. Kyrie's not here. Presumably might not be allowed to play here given New York City health rules.
You guys are going to talk to Kyrie soon, right? I'll let you guys listen to what he has to say about that. But obviously, Kai is a huge part of what we're trying to do. So,
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press.
Hey, James, 2 questions. First of all, where do you expect to be physically versus where you were when the season started last year? You had a weird training camp situation last year. And 2, sort of following up on that, once you got here last year, you didn't really get any time to rest during the season.
Yeah.
Kyrie was out and then Kevin got hurt. If guys do have to miss games for that reason or any other reason, you're worried about the fact that you can't take any rest during the season if guys aren't here for some games?
Nah, I kind of blame last year on myself because I'm usually prepared, like physically, mentally. Last year was just draining in the sense of, all the stuff that was going on. So I didn't have the right mindset and right preparation for an entire season. Usually I'm very, very durable and I'm able to handle anything that comes my way for the most part. So last year was kind of, tricky. It was kind of weird or whatever. But I think having a full, great off season, preparing my body, and just kind of going through a full process with the strength and conditioning team and making sure it just from top to bottom, I feel totally different. And I'm just excited for this new year and this new journey.
Next question on Zoom, Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, James, how you doing?
So,
good. Quick question. Just in terms of the roster from last year and what you guys are trying to accomplish this season and keeping a lot of the pieces intact and then adding Patty and the other guys, would you say health is the biggest thing that you guys would need to win a championship? Or are there certain areas that you can look at saying, okay, we need to improve in these departments if we want to get further this year?
I think that's any team. You look at any playoff run, even last year, team that can be healthy or the healthiest has a better chance. Last year was actually pretty crazy, but there was so many different variables. Me throwing it to the lineup and they coming for a few games and Kevin missing 2.5 months and Kai missing 20, whatever. There was just so much going on, and we was a foot away from going to the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's like now we get a full year of togetherness, and you can't beat that. But we showed glimpses last year without being healthy and being full. This year is going to be a different story.
Mike Scotto, Hoops Hype.
Hey, James, good to see you.
See you,
Obviously, you guys brought back a lot of guys and other teams around the league. The Lakers made moves and whatnot. When I was curious from your perspective as a competitor, when you look around the league and you see a lot of moves that were made this offseason, did any at all stick out to you as, guys are trying to compete against you guys to win the title by the end of the season?
Honestly, no. I think we're very confident and we're great. We're talented enough. We have a very, vet group that's been there before. We have some young guys that are going to be thrown in the fire with us. But it's not about anybody else but us. If we take care of our business and approach the game and approach each day like we know we are going to, we're not worried about anybody else.
Tina Cervasio, Fox 5.
James, good to see you in person as well. James, just listening to everything you're talking about, whether it's the process of taking it one day at a time, enjoying camp, the way you've come back to get yourself back to 100%. When it does come down to that championship talk, for you personally, what is the importance to you to have that championship ring?
It's very important as a competitor. I feel like it's one of the best people in this league, best players in this league. That's what you train in the summer for. That's what you go through the tough times and grinds, the difficult days for. So I'm just trying to set myself up for it. I fell short a few times, but that doesn't stop me and it won't stop me. I train every single day with that mindset to be able to compete at the highest level and be the last team standing. And obviously, there's a few guys on this team who's won championships, so they kind of know what it takes and has the experience. For me, I just want to go out there and make my teammates better, try to be the best player on the floor every single night, and hopefully that's good enough. Hopefully that'll lead me to where, obviously individually I want to go and our organization wants to be.
Justin Walters, Pix 11.
James, last year you told us several times that scary times are ahead. Do you still believe that, or is it a different model this year?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's even scarier. It's even scarier, man. Just because of some of the pieces that we added to this team. Where there's times where throughout the course of a game, you got guys that have been battle tested that you can trust, that you can go to war with. Not saying that we didn't have that last year, but I think for us, it's even more confidence. Now we just got to instill those principles and that mindset in training camp and kind of build on that every single day. We need to use this preseason like regular season games and approach it like that because we are behind.
Gerard Hector, True Hoop.
Hey, James, two-parter. A lot of good music was released this summer. What was your favorite piece of music that came out this summer? And in the locker room, who's in charge of the aux cord when it comes to music?
What was the first question?
What was your favorite piece that got released this summer?
Piece?
Yeah, music.
I think Voice of the Heroes with Lil Baby and Lil Durk, just because I executive produced it. And honestly, man, there's so much, great music. Drake just dropped his album. Kanye just dropped his album. Meek Mill about to drop his album. There are a lot of great artists that are putting out music. I think that kind of music and basketball or sports go hand in hand. So we kind of need that motivation, that inspiration to keep pushing. I let the young guys get it. I let, Nick and Bruce and the young guys get it.
Lisa Shu, Tencent.
Hey, James, obviously you guys are target for the whole league, and then it could be very exhausting to be a target night in, night out. So how can you guys keep mentally fresh throughout the season?
We're not the target. Defending championship is our targets. They won last year. We were trying to catch them. We're not worried about anything else but getting better as a team and individually. But, the Milwaukee Bucks, won the championship last year, so they should be the targets and they should be the team to dethrone.
Last question for James Simone Sandri, La Gazzetta dello Sport.
Yes, obviously with such a deep and talented roster, you said that you guys need to be on the same page. It sounds a bit sometimes as a cliche because you all have personal goals, which could be winning the MVP, for somebody else could be the next contract or cracking up the rotation. How difficult is to put in reality that goal of everybody being on the same page?
For me, it's trying to win every MVP every year in the sense of trying to be the best player on the court every single night. Kevin feels the same way. Kyrie feels the same way as well. I think everybody's on the same page in the sense of, we want to win the championship. That's why LaMarcus is here. That's why Paul is here. That's why our entire roster is built. Sean and the front office did an unbelievable job of building the roster to where, we want to compete at the highest level. If you have any like thirsty or stingy like mindset, it'll stick out like a sore thumb because everybody is on the same page. So it's going to be a great year, great journey. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are as well.
Thank you, James.
Yeah.